Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video, well, I'm reviving a series which I started when Gran Turismo 7 originally released and before I started doing commentary videos, in which we pit the Tomahawk against everything in the game, starting out with the slower cars, moving all the way up to other Tomahawks, etc., to see if it really is the king of Gran Turismo 7. Now, to start with, for a bit of a handicap towards the Tomahawk, I decided to take out the 600 Glitch Tomahawk. Very unstable and a bit of a nightmare to drive, but let's see if it's going to come out on top. So for this episode, it is starting out against some of the slowest cars in the game. So my way to penalise it is not only just run it in its 600 form, is to basically sit and wait, and when the final car crosses the line to go on to lap 2, the Tomahawk has to chase down the whole grid and get to the end of its second lap before they do. Now you may be thinking, well, why is that little Fiat 500 faster than the rest? Well, it's because I accidentally forgot that it had a few upgrades on. So it is going to be the quickest of the bunch of cars that it's facing. So that is going to pretty much lead the way for the whole race, followed closely by the Toyota Sport 800. Another very slow car, but a very, sort of sporty looking classic Japanese car nonetheless. And then that is going to be facing up against one of the Abarth Fiats. So that is one of the originals with the cool little engine flap open at the back, the Willys Jeep, and finally it's going to be the Beetle and the Samba Bus. Now these cars are extremely slow and they're lapping around about 2 minutes. But that mainly goes for the final car, which is the Samba Bus, which I believe was putting in something like nearly 3 minutes a lap. So there's going to be quite a long wait for the Tomahawk. So the main thing I'm doing is just penalising it as much as it can to really see just how fast it is. Obviously you've got the two leading group, then you've got the middle group, the Beetle on its own, and then the Samba Bus at the back, which was just pretty much dropping back by the second. Definitely ridiculously slow, awesome looking, but definitely no competition at all. So when that does finally cross the line, the Tomahawk will go. At that point, I'm expecting the Fiat 500 and the little Toyota Sport to probably be around about halfway around their lap. So in comparison to these cars, in half of their lap, the Tomahawk will have to chase them all down and complete a full 2 laps, as well as take the overall win. And that's really where the challenge comes in, as well as the penalty of using the very unstable and pretty awful to drive 600 Glitch Tomahawk. Again, just kind of adding to the layers. If that car does get patched out in the future, then I'll be sure to change over to a more normal Tomahawk, and I'll find different ways to kind of give it a handicap and ensure that even though it's against extremely slow cars, it's still kind of competitive where it could possibly lose. Another thing you're going to notice in this run, I don't think the clip will actually show, but I did manage to get the thing airborne, which caused it to spin, slap the barrier, and have to get going again, which it probably lost around about 5 to 10 seconds overall. So really just a stressful drive. Keeping this thing in a straight line was probably the worst part about it, as we've already seen the leaders go through. However, the Tomahawk will have to sit and wait. So definitely a very unstable drive. It's very prone to kind of getting airborne over 300 miles an hour. You have to be very careful running the drag reduction system on this car because it just makes it want to kind of spin. You have to be very light with your inputs. So definitely going to be more of a challenge really getting this thing around 2 laps cleanly enough to be able to beat them than anything else. So as you can see, the Samba Bus is very slowly coming to the line, and it does cross it, which means now the Tomahawk has to complete its 2 laps and chase down the rest of the grid. So away it goes to kind of unlap itself and then basically retake positions, and straight away you can see it's already chased down all but the top 2, so it's unlapped itself already. However, you can see just how much of a gap the front 2 cars really have, as they're already around about halfway through their lap. So now the Tomahawk's got a ton of work to do, but just how much work? Well, quite a bit. The Samba Bus, well, that's just kind of there. It's not really going to be a challenge, and neither is the Beetle, or as you can see in front of it, the Willys Jeep or the Fiat Barth. These two, however, they're coming towards the last bit of the lap, and it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Like I said, the Tomahawk did spin, so it did kind of add to its overall time. Now it's all about retaking the positions, as it's already unlapped itself from every car. So now it's up to 6th as it retakes the Summer Bus, and basically says goodbye to that. The Summer Bus barely moving since being unlapped. Now the Beetle, as well as the Willys Jeep and the Fiat Barth. Now it's just the front two leaders, but whereabouts on the track are they really going to be? Tomahawk up into a podium position already, but I'm just kind of wondering where the Toyota and that Fiat 500 will be. And they are there. They were round the final corner. However, the Tomahawk does manage to chase them down in time, and it completes episode 1 of Tomahawk versus the World. So here you can see it had around an 8-second gap to the second place Fiat 500, with the Summer Bus being way over a minute behind by the time those 2 laps were done. So definitely a fun little kind of challenge, and I kind of just want to see really how good is this Tomahawk. Obviously a few handicaps making it more of a handful than it really should be, but it's all part of the fun. So thank you so much for joining me as I revive one series that I kind of just wish I never left behind. However, now I do commentary on my videos, it makes it much more accessible and just kind of much more fun to be able to talk over these silly little challenges that we really can do in Gran Turismo 7. So, you know, with the Tomahawk being popular, I thought, well, why not? Let's revive a pretty much dead series and just see how good the car is overall. I want to say a big shout out to all my channel members, to those who donate and leave me kind of a lot of positive feedback, the ones that like, the ones that, you know, kind of subscribe on the daily. Just a massive thank you to each and every one of you. I also do want to look back at some of the older Gran Turismo games, so expect maybe some classic GT content to come along and probably some more ridiculous challenges. So I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you later, guys. Peace.